I don't mean to scare y'all. I know a lot of y'all watching don't have jobs. That's why y'all watching, and I appreciate you. But it's 2025, and we're running up money. So y'all need to get jobs. Y'all can't just be watching me. I mean, I appreciate it, but y'all can't just be watching me. Y'all, I need y'all to be successful too. This guy is gonna show y'all how not to act during the interview. I accidentally came during a job interview. That is a crazy title. Listen, I was just scrolling on my explore page and I came across this video right here, and I knew I instantly had something that you guys would enjoy. So let's hop into it. There's no way this dude actually did this. This has to be either a troll or some sort of clickbait going on here. But listen, if it's rage bait, clickbait, you know, I'm here to react to it. I'm here to watch it. So
hi everybody.
Let's see what this guy's really talking about.
And I came in my pants.
All right, so we're like 7 seconds in. This dude got a bald and receding hairline. He look like he got tears in his eyes. Big, just gigantic forehead. He looked like the type to do something like that too. He definitely looks like he could do something like that. Dangerous type of fella right here. Look at his shirt, all wrinkled up, crumpled. Like his tie is uneven. Like I don't even like want to flame him, but he just looks like the type that would do something like this
during the interview.
But let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
I have struggled my entire life with ADHD and anxiety and bipolar disorder.
Dang, and you got the whole
I've spent
the whole
so long
trifecta
trying to figure out how to manage my symptoms so that I can actually be a normal person on a day-to-day basis. And it seems like everything I do doesn't work. I was addicted to Xanax for so long and it ruined my life. And
man, why it sound like he about to cry?
It just felt
like you feel bad for roasting him too. He seemed like he's a good dude. He got some conditions going on or something. But come on, this title is throwing me.
Everything I did somehow made it worse. And now the one thing that I thought worked clearly doesn't.
That he's actually crying?
Basically, I figured out at a very young age that
this might actually be real.
I was anxious and I was insecure. Then the way that in the moment I could sort of calm myself down and make myself focus and make myself more confident was to make myself horny, basically. So
hey, I know a lot of y'all be getting horny when y'all feeling anxious. Y'all be turning on, you know what I'm saying, turning on the hub, turning on eRoam, turning on, you know, Twitter, all the links and stuff. Listen, I know a lot of y'all be doing that. I don't be doing that. How do y'all like calm down when y'all anxious and stuff? What I used to do, sort of similar to what he's saying right here. Listen, when I was anxious, I'll hop on the bed, throw on some Reddit, throw on some Telegram, you know, deep dark webs, you know, saying go downtown, you feel me? But that was like years ago. I finally woke up. I realized this is not a healthy way of living. This is not a good way of living. So I stopped doing that. Now I know a lot of y'all don't get no hoes. Y'all don't be talking to girls. Y'all just be staying in y'all room all day. You know, barely leaving the house. All y'all do is just scroll on TikTok and watch YouTube. I know that's the life for like a majority of people out here, and it's kind of sad. No interaction with girls. So, you know what I'm saying? The only interaction y'all have with girls is online. And at some point, you know, your manly feelings start feeling a certain way, and you gotta, I don't blame y'all. But listen, we need to do better. As men, we need to do better. Stop the porn. Stop the corn watching. Stop the, you know what I'm saying, stop the whacking. All that needs to go. All that needs to go. So for this guy though, he got like ADHD, he got bipolar, he got all the, you know, emo goth girl, you know, default settings of depression, all that stuff, you know, to dye your hair red, you know, all that he got. You know, whatever works. I'm not gonna knock your game down.
Sexy to the point where
throw on some lingerie porn, throw on some magazine, something like, yo, go do what you gotta do.
That sort of stuff. And most of the time it went fine. You know, it would actually work really well because
Hey, if this is truly not real though, this guy's doing a good job at acting.
What it does is it sort of
fake
makes
crying, running
it's sort of
nose
like
and
you
stuff.
a natural medication, because when you get horny, the chemicals that your brain releases are, you have dopamine and adrenaline and those sorts of things, and that's very similar to the medications that you would actually.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why, like, social media, that's why, like, looking at girls all day on social media is not a good thing. It's just too much dopamine, too much, it's just too much, honestly. That's all I can say. That's why, take a break from being on social media, looking at girls on social media, go outside, interact with people. It feels way better than looking at your phone. 100% does.
Or that sort of stuff.
Listen, it might seem nerve-wracking,
So,
it might seem anxious to, like, go out and talk to
I was
people,
just
go
gonna
out,
do that,
especially
and
girls.
it would be fine, but
listen, it feels way
I
much
got to the
better
interview,
than
and
doing this.
I started having a panic attack, as usual, in my car, and I pulled out my phone.
I wonder
and
what
started
company
looking
he was
at
going
porn,
to.
And
Oh nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, busted out the porn before he went for the pregame whack. Nasty. That's nasty work. Nasty work.
Because that really helps when I have a panic attack. It helps me. And I guess that was my first mistake. I sort of got a head start before I went in, So I go in and
damn, wait, so he ain't even finished. Hold on. He ain't even finished before he went in for the interview, bro. He was already preloaded. Oh nah, this dude is nasty, bro. Hold on. He ain't even finished before he went in. He went in like
and it starts
halfway
off okay.
done.
The reception
like the fuel was halfway loaded. And he went in for the interview, bro. I hope the interviewer was not a woman. Please don't tell me the interview was a woman.
And it starts off okay. The reception.
Hold on, did he say was it a woman?
Before I went in, so I go in and
please don't tell me it was no woman, please.
And it starts off okay. The receptionist is very nice. I'm waiting for the guy to come out who's going to interview me, and I sort of start preparing.
Actually, hopefully it wasn't a dude either.
That
would be even worse if it was to a dude.
For me, usually that's stuff like cocking and pet. Well, I don't know. I don't need to get into it, but you know what I mean. Everybody has.
This dude is nasty, bro. How are you just snotting your nose on command?
They like.
Like you're not even crying. Sorry, how is your nose snotting on command?
All day since it happened this morning.
Like there's no tears coming down your eye at all. I see nothing here. Not once have you wiped your eyes.
Because I don't want to stand up and then have a, boing thing happen. So I stand up and I say hello, I shake his hand, blah, blah, and it starts going well. We make small talk and
no, so this is even worse, bro.
We go into the interview room.
You telling me you was feeling horny with the dude?
It starts fine, but then the first thing that happened that sort of made it go worse was that on the website they advertised the position as being fully remote.
Okay.
But then in the interview, he said that actually I had to come in 3 times a week still.
So what was the position for? This was like some corporate position?
I started to get... Normally, I probably would have just said, okay, whatever, but this, I really didn't want to come in because, like I said, I have debilitating anxiety and social scrap. So I looked for a remote position on purpose so that I would be able to be easier for me to work.
That's... One thing I'm not liking is they're getting rid of like remote working. Like there's this one company that I'm about to go in the summertime, and they not letting us do no remote work anymore. And I listen. Between me and y'all, listen, bro. Anybody who does remote work, they not actually being productive all the time. Definitely not being productive all the time. Definitely not as productive as when you're in the office or wherever your company you're working at.
So I wanted to confront him about this, And because my anxiety was getting worse and increasing, I had to sort of make I had to get more aroused.
Okay, I see. I see where we're about to go. That's actually got to be a talent though. That's got to be a talent though. How, like, getting increasingly hornier as you get more anxious. That's real talent right there.
If that goes up, then this has to go up, right? So I was thinking more about my fantasy, and then also I was there was a desk there, so I started kind of working myself.
Oh, nah, you nasty. Oh, nah, you nasty. Bro.
I mean, I don't.
No, you nasty. If I find out that a dude is rubbing himself down while I'm with him at a desk, I gotta stay equipped with a pair of scissors. I'm chopping that shit off. I don't care if it's your hand or your thing. That's nasty, bro. I'm gonna feel violated. Touching yourself in front of another dude, let alone me? Disgusting. Disgusting.
I know that when I'm explaining it right now, it sounds bad, but you have to understand that most of the time nobody would find out, right? And you also have to understand how difficult
my senses
it is.
Will go out, bro. That's just like, I'm gonna make sure you have both your hands on the table at all times, touching yourself under the desk. No. No way I would let that happen, bro.
How difficult it is to have anxiety and panic disorder and ADHD and probably autism. I don't even know. I have tons of stuff. It feels like everything.
True, but that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse to be.
I try to do anything I can to make.
This is probably the first person I heard that said something like that too.
This is what in a capitalist
he needs to be sent in to be studied. That's got to be studied by scientists.
I do anything and anything to survive in capitalism. So yeah, I was
okay.
I was
okay.
Under the table, yeah.
He was under the table dealing. Dealing under the table.
And he says, so I asked him, so you advertise the position online as being a remote position, but now you're saying that it's not. And he said, well, I don't know what we said online. Sometimes that stuff isn't accurate. So I said, whatever. And I moved on because now I'm not even sure I want this job anymore. But maybe, that's the type of thing where maybe we can figure it out later.
Come on, bro. Just get to the point. Let's just let it out at this point.
My last job,
no pun intended. No pun intended.
I got fired from, if you watch my recent videos. So I was trying to figure out a way that I got really nervous trying to figure out a way that I could say what happened, but also not. If he called my old boss and asked what happened, I didn't want to have lied, but also.
Oh, please don't tell me that you did something the same way at your old job too.
In a way that it doesn't sound that bad.
Oh, bro, this dude is a serial beater. I see what he is now. He just a serial beater. This is the type of dude to beat it to furry, to beat it to beat it to anything. This dude should not be employed, and I don't blame him I don't blame the company for firing you. You shouldn't be employed.